Welcome to the inaugural series of the Humor Career Insights podcast, your guide to navigating career success. I'm your host, Vachechi Bafa, a certified professional career coach, human resources consultant, and founder of Humor. Whether you're just starting out or transitioning after years of service, this podcast is your go-to resource for invaluable tips and strategies. In this first series, we are diving into the topic of career transitions, especially pertinent during these uncertain times. Join us as we explore practical insights and expert advice to propel your career forward in the ever-evolving professional landscape. So buckle up and get ready to navigate career transitions with confidence. Let's embark on this journey together. Don't forget to rate and follow. Welcome to episode 4, the 90-day plan. You spent weeks and months preparing for and launching a career search campaign. You crafted your CV well to highlight the many years of accomplishment that you have under your belt. You prepared for your interview, increasing your confidence, and you negotiated and accepted the right offer. Congratulations. It is natural that as the start date approaches, you experience both excitement and anxiety. In today's episode, we will spend some time on a sometimes forgotten aspect of navigating career changes, and that is the 90 days after the start of a new opportunity. We often tend to focus on the search, and the success is the job offer or the launch of that new business. But what about the first few weeks of the job? Most jobs have a 90-day probation or introductory period, and we will focus on what you can do to successfully navigate this period. What books can I read? This was a question emailed to me after successfully helping a client land her dream job. My client was starting her new job in a few days, and anxiety was creeping in. Not that she was not happy or excited, but this was a move into a different area of focus. It is important to note that this was not a forced move either, but very voluntary and something that she had always wanted and felt was ready for after many years in the humanitarian world. I sent her a list of very good motivational books, including one of my favorites, Lean In, Women, Work, and the Will to Lead by Sheryl Sandberg. She was definitely on the right path by making a commitment to personal development. One of the things that we had worked on together was a skills gap assessment and identified leadership as a development need. So, what can you do to set yourself up for success? Let me share 3 tips that have worked for many of my clients and friends. Number 1, skill assessment and gap analysis. Conduct your own personal skills gap assessment and SWOT analysis based on the job description. Identify any gaps that may exist between your current skill set and the requirements of the job. If you need to upskill, then do the needful. Get some training or specific experience. Nowadays, information is readily and freely available for those who are willing. For example, one of my friends recently learned some aspects of the Google Suite through YouTube. Number 2, be your own advocate for holistic onboarding and keep a journal. Keep a journal of your successes and challenges. Number 3, build a support network. This is probably the most important in my opinion. Having a strong support network during a career transition is essential. This could include mentors, friends, family, or professional networks that can offer guidance, encouragement, and connections. You are listening to the Humor Career Insights podcast. Remember to follow, rate, and share. A few years ago, I was part of a steering group for the Humanitarian Human Resources Conference hosted by a well-known and industry-respected organization. I was the only one representing the so-called Global South. What pressure! I felt that I didn't belong at this particular table. I was then asked to represent the steering group by moderating a panel session with one of the world's renowned neurologists and 2 other well-known academic professors in the world of diversity, equity, and inclusion. I had never moderated a panel before. let alone a high-profile one such as this one. I considered passing up the opportunity, but in the end, I agreed. I was afraid that I would mess up and would be found out for sure that I did not belong at this table. I had heard talk of imposter syndrome before and never really took notice. But after this event, I was reading an article on imposter syndrome and had an aha moment. I had been going through an imposter syndrome attack. I began some research on this and realized that I had gone through many such episodes. In fact, I believe that this imposter syndrome is a cause for much of our anxiety when faced with a new start. It doesn't really matter how accomplished you are. We are all vulnerable to it. The award-winning author and Nobel laureate Maya Angelou was once quoted saying, "I have written 11 books, but each time I think, they're going to find out now. I've run a game on everybody and they're going to find me out." That is the imposter syndrome. Dictionary.com defines imposter syndrome as anxiety or self-doubt that results from persistently undervaluing one's competence and active role in achieving success, while falsely attributing one's accomplishments to luck or other external forces. Doctors Pauline Clance and Suzanne Imes introduced the term imposter phenomenon in the mid-1970s and described it as a recurring emotional experience, not a psychological illness, like a sense of dread you feel over and over again. In subsequent research, Dr. Clance and her colleagues found out that more than 70% of professionals had experienced imposter feelings at some point in their career. Given this, let's talk about 3 strategies that we can use to manage this imposter syndrome. Number 1, keep meticulous notes and reminders of all your successes. Things like emails you receive from your boss commending you on a job well done. You can then go over them when you are feeling inadequate. Number 2, prepare. Preparation gives you the confidence that you are indeed ready for this opportunity. Whether it's a new job or a public speaking event, prepare, prepare, prepare. For a new opportunity, you can do research on the organization beforehand, particularly on the position. If it's an interview, do some mock interviews. Public speaking, practice your speech. In her book, Michelle Obama talks about the time she had a big speech to do, and when she was getting on the stage, she learned that the teleprompter was not working. She says that fortunately, she knew her speech word for word because she had practiced and practiced. Her backup plan came in handy. Number 3, ask for help. Be willing to ask questions and get advice from those who have gone before you. An interview question that I often advise my clients to ask is, what are the pain points in this particular role? Basically, what are the 3 things you would like the successful candidate to have achieved at the end of the 3-month probationary period? This gives you an indication of what you will spend most of your time doing in the job. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Seek the services of a career coach or an expert in your field of work. Taking you back to my opportunity to moderate a panel discussion that I spoke of earlier. Remember, I had never done this before? I asked a fellow coach who is an excellent moderator for tips, and she was willing to give me some helpful tips. Having a 90-day plan at the start of a new opportunity will ease those first-day jitters. I like the quote from Abraham Lincoln that says, "Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe." Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Humor Career Insights podcast. We hope you found the discussion on the 90-day plan insightful and inspiring. Remember, navigating your career path can be challenging, but with the right strategies and support, you can achieve your professional goals. If you have any questions, feedback, or topics you'd like us to cover in future episodes, we'd love to hear from you. Feel free to reach out to us on our website or social media channels. Don't forget to follow and rate our podcast to stay updated on the latest episodes and share it with your colleagues and friends who might benefit from our insights. Until next time, take care and stay inspired.